What's going on? Welcome in. So look, it's Monday, October 10th here, and the Jets are above 500. Okay, they are 3-2. I gotta be honest with you, I did not think the record would look this way before the start of the season. I was thinking 1 to 2 wins at this point. Okay, but look, the AFC East, it's honestly looking like it's a 4-team race. Buffalo looks absolutely fantastic. Miami has impressed a ton of people, including myself. The Jets, obviously, and then, of course, the New England Patriots. You can never count them out. They're coming off a great win against Detroit. And something about that Patriots team, it just looks like a well-oiled machine, especially on defense. Belichick has that defense playing really, really well. But in this one, I wanted to really break down the awesome start of the New York Jets season so far. Okay, and look, I get it. If you're a Chiefs fan, if you're a Bills fan, if you're a fan of a team that has been consistently making the playoffs, consistently getting playoff wins, you're probably saying to yourself, like, 3-2, like, great, that it's an awesome record, but we're not even at the halfway point of the season. It's not all that great. I get that point. Believe me, I get it. But to see this Jets team have 3 pretty big wins, and we're going to talk about how they did it in just a second here, but to sit through all of last season and watch the Jets walk away with 4 wins, just 4, the season before that, 2 wins, it feels really good. It feels really, really good to say, you know what? The Jets have beaten the Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now the Miami Dolphins, 3 tough opponents, okay? I'm really getting the sense that the tide is starting to turn, and I mean, rightfully so. Joe Douglas has spent over $300 million on this roster in the last 2 years. This team has also had 5 first-round picks, not to mention additions like Elijah Moore, Max Mitchell, who else? Breece Hall. A bunch of middle round picks are contributing as well. But with that said, it really feels like the Jets are a legit team, right? I'm not entering in these games mentally with the mindset of, oh, what can the Jets keep it close by halftime? Hopefully they'll get points in the second half, kind of like I did under the Adam Gase regime. I don't have that mindset anymore. I really don't. I'm not just saying that because I'm riding the high off a whim, but this team has proved a lot of people. I felt like everybody picked the Dolphins to win last week. Everybody picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to win a week prior. Okay, there's something about this team. It's starting to feel different than the last 5-6 years. Now, believe me, I'm not saying that the Jets are going to finish the season with 2 losses. I'm not saying that the Jets are the best team in football or anything like that, because there's definitely things that need to be cleaned up with, specific play calls, tackling. Penalties isn't really, has been an issue, a prominent issue over the past couple of weeks, and it was a major issue last season as well. There are things to clean up, but man, we take a look at how the Jets have won these games and really where everybody's heads are at right now, players and coaches included. I mean, think about this for a second. The Jets have been playing, this is a fact, the Jets have been playing the best football in the fourth quarter. When you think about great athletes, guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, and we're now seeing it with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, these guys want the football in the fourth quarter. When the game is on the line, they want the ball. Look, I'm not saying that these guys have to bat 1,000 or anything like that, but go ask a Bills fan, hey, do you feel comfortable with Josh Allen possessing the football late in games? What about a Patriots fan or Buccaneers fan with Tom Brady? The answer is yes. I feel like I've seen a million 1-minute drives, 2-minute drives, no timeouts of the Patriots growing up. Tom Brady just goes right down the field and scores. But the point is, when the game is on the line, when the game is tight and you need to make that throw, when you need to make that stop, when you need to convert on that 3rd or 4th down, even when you need to hit that field goal, the Jets are starting to deliver, and it feels really, really good. It's almost the antithesis of the Gase era, right? Where I felt like the Jets would score a quick 10 points, a quick 14 points, but that was it. They would end the game with those 14 points. They would maybe get another 3 later in the game. It doesn't feel like that with this Jets squad, and it's encouraging. It's exciting. Think about the confidence in which the players and the coaches have in one another. Look, these wins, it hasn't been pretty all the time. And like we've said in every single recap, there has been things that I wish the Jets have done better in certain areas and everything like that. It wasn't a perfect game in any of these 3 wins, but especially for the young guys, and I'm talking specifically about the rookies, because look, Sauce Gardner, top 5 pick, these guys are young players, okay? They know that the Jets have not been super successful in the past handful of seasons. They're coming off a really bad year, finishing in the bottom 5. Year before that, again, 2 wins. Sauce Gardner knows that. Garrett Wilson knows that. They know that not only is this team trying to rebuild and get going in the right direction, but they are a big part of that. To now sit here and say a month and a week into the season, yeah, you know what? We can be down. We've been down 2 scores with a minute 45 left, and we have came back and won with our backup quarterback, injuries on our offensive line in Cleveland. We've done that before. We've gone to Pittsburgh and battled back and forth, took on 2 quarterbacks in Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, first quarterback in the draft, and outdueled Tomlin in their house. By the way, Zach Wilson was 6 for 6, perfect on that game-winning drive, okay? It just shows the fortitude, the mental fortitude, the wherewithal to be able to hang in with a tough opponent in a hectic environment, okay? Let's look at the Dolphins game. Prior to this season, the Jets were 0-12 in the last 2 years in the AFC East. The year before that, 2-4. In total, 2-16 in the last 3 years. God awful. That is horrendous. I mean, there's 2-16. That number had to change. But you know what? After seeing Sunday's blowout, again, granted, it wasn't pretty. There was a lot of things that I felt like went in the Jets' favor with injuries and everything like that. But look, the final score was 40-17. For Sauce Gardner to see that score, for Breece Hall to look at his performance, for Jermaine Johnson, these young rookies, to see what is unfolding with this Jets team so far this season, it kind of just further drills down the idea of what's done is done, what's in the past is in the past. The whole same old Jets thing, it is what it is. This team has not won a bunch of games in the previous seasons, but it doesn't really matter because we're 3-2 now, and we have fought back. We have been an underdog in multiple games here and have shocked everybody, okay? So I think from a confidence level, it's really, really important. It's completely warped the expectations, and I feel like the self-belief in this locker room. I really believe that. Now, the last point I wanted to make here is the fact that the Jets haven't been perfect in these wins. I know we keep talking about it, right? Whether it's a lot of penalties, blown assignments, missed assignments, critical turnovers, poor offensive line play, whatever it is, right? Whatever's plaguing the team, the Jets have not looked completely dominant, right? But they're still winning. Although these intricate details bother me throughout the course of the game, when I'm watching, and I do believe it's not sustainable to be giving up 100 yards and penalties and everything like that. I don't think that's a good recipe for success long term. But with that said, if you want to look at that same exact point through an optimistic lens, you could sit there and say the Jets aren't playing their best football and they are still 3-2 a week in October. It's not like the Jets have to be clicking on all cylinders. Zach Wilson has to throw for 350 yards. Jermaine Johnson and Sauce Gardner have to be playing like defensive rookies of the year or anything like that for this team to have success, for this team to get the job done and win football games. There is a lot of things to clean up. But you can sit there and say, hey, this is almost a good thing because this young team is going to get better with time. So I'm excited about what the Jets have done so far this season. I know every Jet fan is totally pumped up as well, but I gotta say I'm more excited for what the future holds, especially considering that the schedule. Look, this is the NFL. I'm not taking any games for granted here, but theoretically it does soften up a little later on in the season. Okay, so we'll see how this whole thing plays out. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate it, and as always, go Jets.